So thank you so much, everyone, for availing yourself to learn with me, uh, discovering our purpose. I believe strongly that the reason why we are following this video up until now is because there's always a question that we all want to answer: why we are on earth, why God has placed us here on earth. And it is one of the reasons why we have gathered here. And so tonight, it is not by mistake that our speaker is a very good friend of mine, and he has made a positive impact on my life. Yes, a very good one. And so, without much ado, I'd like to introduce him. He's a dynamic leadership consultant and also an IT trainer and a speaker. He is committed to empowering leaders and organizations through transformational leadership, integration, and practical digital skills. He is the team lead of Mediator AI Solutions, a forward-thinking training and consultancy firm, and also serves as the technical director for International Leadership Foundation Ghana, where he supports capacity building initiatives for emerging African leaders. With a master's degree in marketing and an MSc in leadership and project management, Richmond brings a unique blend of strategic, technological, and human-centered insight to every engagement. His approach bridges the gap between leadership and innovation, equipping professionals to thrive in evolving world of work. A passionate advocate for personal learning and growth, Richmond believes that self-education is the foundation for leadership excellence and national transformation. His mission is to drive growth, foster innovation, and create lasting impact through smart digital transformation. He is happily married and a proud father. Happy Father's Day. Drawing inspiration from his family to lead with love, integrity, and purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, with this rich bio, I would like to introduce you Mr. Richmond Agyare. Mr. Agyare, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nate. It's good to join you.
Right.
Yes. I wanted to be sure I'm pronouncing it right.
We've known each other for quite some time now.
I know, right?
Pronounce my name wrong.
I know, right?
All right. So let's get straight to action.
Okay.
Richmond, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Let me just put the questions, 3 questions in one, by way of introduction. Can you tell us a bit about yourself? 1, and 2, when did you first start thinking seriously about your purpose? And then the last one is, where was the defining moment? An experience that led to you discovering your own purpose.
Okay. Thank you very much. So who is Richmond? Richmond is an explorer. Yes, I have been working on serving everybody in my circles. They started back in, as far as I can remember, in class 3 in Staff Preparatory School, where I volunteered to serve as the class prefect for my class in class 3. And that gave me the opportunity to serve more people going through primary school all the way to GHS, becoming the school prefect in GHS. Then after SHS, class prefect, becoming school prefect. All of these moments, I was just exploring. I didn't have anything in mind like I'm pursuing my purpose or whatever. I'm just living my life, And it took us to the university where I met you, and you can testify.
Hey.
We got opportunity to volunteer and be voted for as course reps and all of that. And even to a point, I stood for SRC president until there were these court issues, and then we had to pull out and focus on other areas of our lives, So that's just a little bit about me in relation to today's topic, but all the way I've always wanted to explore, to find out more, what is the reason for this? What is the reason for that? Right. And for the defining moment for me, when I was in SHS, there was this writer, author, and a speaker. He's Pastor Daniel Geja. And he used to come to our school to inspire us a lot, motivate us, and also sell his books, right? And I approached him that I wanted to be his mentee. So he's going to be my coach or my mentor. And, we had a good relationship. I used to go to different schools to sell his books. He would go there and sign a contract, and then I'll go there and deliver the books and all of that. Sometimes we'll go to his house and, connect more. And usually after I've done all those errands, he'll ask me, Richmond, how much should I give you? I'll say, oh, just give me anything. He say, no, what do you want? He used to force me to answer that question. That question was very difficult for me to answer, answering the question of what do you want, because that has to do with purpose and knowing what you are about.
Okay.
It is during that time that I got to appreciate that every time you must have a reason for a decision.
Yeah.
There must always be a reason for something. So we'll get more into that. But one of the days I visited him, and there was this book on Life Purpose by Brian Tracy, right?
Okay.
And I picked up the book. I read quite some pages, but I couldn't finish it whilst I was still in his home. So I said that, is it possible for me to take this book, go and finish reading it and return it? My mentor says, no, you can't. I was very, very disappointed because this is my mentor and coach who is preparing me to become somebody good in future. How can he deny me of something that I believe will help me to, better myself? So I left the place with my friend. I had to cry in the car and all of that because I was so disappointed that, no, this one, that he didn't do well, at the time. But I think that was a defining moment for me because in that trotro vehicle, I made a concrete decision in my mind that from that day forward, I was going to buy one book per month, and I was going to build my own library and have books of my own. I can read it anytime I want and all that. So that burden fired me to love reading. And I used to go to Steps to Christ in Kanishi to buy books, a lot of books on self-development at wholesale prices and all of that. So as of now, I've been able to build some level of book libraries here, hard copies, but right now I have fallen in love with soft copies because everywhere I am, I just pull my book, my phone, and then I'm able to read or listen to a lot of books so much of the time. Right. So that was one defining moment. Another defining moment for me was in level 200. I chanced on this document written by Pastor Mensa Ultabel to his church members. I am not a member of his church, but I felt that this document will be good for me also because it was talking about planning into the future, about personal development. They used to call the document what? Personal development plan, right? It was a 20-year development plan for the members, and it's cut across different parts of their lives. They were planning for their goals, they were planning for their health, their finances, their family and relations. They were planning for the kind of legacies they want to leave behind when they are dead and gone. And all of that, there were 7 areas. So I adapted that book and began to plan towards it. And I was able to, by God's grace, draft my own 20-year development plan back in 2014. So in 2014, around 2014, I was able to forecast that in 20 years' time, this is where I want to be. Then the document also had different levels. So there was a 20-year broken down into 10 years, 5 years, and then 1 year. And that was a very big defining moment for me. It gave me clarity of purpose and a path to follow and the ability to say no to opportunities that comes my way. even though there are
Okay.
opportunities, but because they may not be going in my direction, I would just have to say, sorry, this, I can't say yes to this because I'm engaged in other things, right? So
Wow.
those two events were strong defining moments for me in terms of my purpose and life.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. You know, you mentioned development plan. You know, until I met you, though I've heard development plan, I was thinking of it in
Yeah,
at a national level. So Ghana has a 50-year development plan. But
yeah.
I never knew that as a human being, you needed a development plan until I met you. Yes, that's actually the
Um,
truth. That's actually the truth. So, in your own way, without in your own words, what would you say is a purpose? What exactly
okay,
is purpose?
purpose simply has to do with the intent behind
Yes.
a thing, right?
So,
Every
okay,
everything,
repeat that. Repeat that.
yeah. So I'm talking about the intent,
Huh?
behind anything. So it could be a
Okay.
plant, it could be a car, it could be a human being. There's an intent of what that thing is supposed to be. So
Okay.
basically, when we are talking about purpose, that is what we are trying to talk about. So the purpose of the headphone you are wearing is for you to be able to communicate with us and to hear what you speak and while other people speak. That is the
Okay.
intent of the manufacturer. So when we talk about purpose, purpose is the intent that has been put in a particular thing by the manufacturer or the creator of that thing. Yes,
Okay. Wow. The intent.
the intent.
That,
Exactly.
that's wonderful. And you know, with the intent that you are talking about,
Yeah,
why do you think that so many people struggle to discover their purpose? They don't. Is it that they don't have an intention? Why is it that
yeah,
people struggle to discover their purpose? Because if we could walk out there on the street and ask, "What is your purpose?"
yeah,
It will stop you. A lot of people who will be fumbling and may not know what to say. So
yeah.
why do people struggle to discover their
Okay.
purpose?
Okay. So I think that everything else in life is about being intentional, right?
Okay.
A lot of the time, most of us, our environment and sometimes the people that surround us do not
Mm-hmm.
draw our attention to being intentional on some of these things. So
Okay.
back in level 100, when I used to talk in some of the classes, I realized that a lot of the university students in us at level 100 did not
Okay.
have goals. They don't even set goals, right? That maybe
Mm-hmm.
in this part of my life, this is where I want to get to, or in that part of my life, this is what I want to achieve in this time
Okay.
frame. There was nothing like that. Even at the
Mm-hmm.
tertiary level, I'm not even talking about junior or senior high. At tertiary level, you are expected to be mature and be more intentional. So I think that people have not been very intentional about discovering who they really are and what contribution they are going to contribute to humanity. All right, so that
Okay.
is the main cause. I think people have not been very intentional until they are exposed to
Intentional.
it. The environment exposes
Okay.
them to it. So I was telling you about
Mm-hmm.
my encounter with Pastor Dan Egeja through reading some of his books, and one of his books was about create your own platform. I got to
Okay.
learn some of these things. So when people get encounters with, uh, you know, let me just use amicus cura. When people get connected to those who are already exposed in that area, they're able to connect and then,
Mm.
discover. But in the absence of that, then we have that challenge. So, whilst I was researching on this topic, I came across a whooping statistics, even in the US. All right,
Yeah.
about 25% of adults are those who reported that they have a good sense of purpose or they are fully
Okay.
aware about their purpose. This is a highly developed country, bear in mind, right?
Okay.
So about 75% of the people don't think that they have clarity of purpose. When we came to Ghana or Africa, that was about 35%. You understand? And
Yeah.
so, and I got surprised by the result of not being intentional about your purpose. It brings frustration, and it even leads to high mortality rates. because people get frustrated and create a lot of mess, and then they end up dying before their time. Yes. So the topic of purpose is a very serious thing, and I appreciate you for bringing it up to, help some of our young people and even some adults who have not been very intentional about discovering their purpose.
Wow. We bless God. We bless God for vision. Yeah. All right. With what you have said, with the intentionality, being so intentional about, getting to know why you are here and why God has actually placed you on this earth. Do you believe that, everyone has a unique purpose? It is more of, creating one for yourself.
Okay. So the secret is that everything has its purpose buried within that thing.
Okay.
Let's take an orange seed. What is the purpose of an orange seed? The purpose of an orange seed is to become a tree and produce the fruit of oranges for humans to eat for vitamin C and other minerals, right?
Okay.
That is the tree. The same thing applies to humans. Our purpose is buried within us, and it is our lifetime calling to identify, pursue, build capacity, and bless the world with it. So I'm saying it again that our purpose must be already, we need to be aware that it is already in us. God created us with an intention that I am creating Mr. Godfred Nate to become this, and on this particular day, he'll be doing a live stream. That's just by the way, right? So God has deposited so much resources within you, and your lifetime assignment is to discover what God has deposited in you as a person and develop it. You see where God hid gold. We could be picking it on the streets, at the roadside and all of that, but it is hidden deep in the earth. And yes, it is hidden deep there. We need to discover it with being intentional. That is why we will be here, and then the Chinese and some other nationals will come here with their machines and discover, oh, there is uranium here, there is this here, and then they'll come and exploit them. You get that? So it is up to us as individuals to be able to understand, first of all, that the purpose for which we are here, our why, is buried within us. What's our responsibility? Take time, reflect on, I'm going to be touching on some few things to help us to be able to identify our purpose and to be able to pursue it, build it, and bless the world with it. So that in your absence, the world must lose. The world must lose something in your absence.
Okay. In your absence.
Yes.
So, like Miles Monroe, we are missing him already.
I know, right? In his absence.
Yeah.
So actually, your purpose is what people remember you for when you are not there. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So if you are not there,
if you are not there, what people are missing is what you would have offered, which is your purpose, your function.
Wow. That's profound. That's profound. All right. So let's take it to this. Let's take it this way.
Okay.
Now, on the journey to, because you mentioned that it is by intentionality. That means that we need to be intentional discovery. That I want to discover this.
Yes.
What are some of, in your own way, of
Yeah.
your experience, what are some of the common signs that a person, would know that I'm actually not living a purposeful life?
Okay.
That's the negative side. What would you know? What would you like as a person? How would I know that I'm not, living in my purpose?
Yeah. Okay. So it is basically about burden. Some of us get so burdened that certain things or certain events, when they happen and they don't go as expected, we get so mad at it.
Okay.
That is one indicator that there is a potential in you that when it is explored, you will be in a position to fix that thing which burdens your heart.
Wow.
This comes sometimes also buried in passion. Sometimes you are so passionate about something that when you see that thing going on, you become so much excited. And to the extent that if they call on you to do that thing, even without being paid, you will still do it because you will feel fulfilled. So those things, that's when we come across them, or when we do them, or when we encounter them, we become so fulfilled. They are those things that are they are the pathways to discovering who you really are. You get that? Yes.
Yeah, I get that. Thank you so much. So I was on the other side, I was asking the signs that I got pregnant. I'm not
Yes.
living in my purpose.
Yes. Frustration.
That's how I was being frustrated.
You'll be frustrated, and that will lead to the statistics I shared earlier. You understand? When you are not living your purpose, everything will frustrate you. For example, in Ghana, are you aware that most of our, just pardon me, okay, excuse my words, most of our teachers, those people who go to teaching colleges, and those that go into nursing, some of them end up there because of the allowance that they'll be given, and at the end of the day, they'll get a profession. And bear in mind, professions are not always your purposes. Do you get that? So let me come back and clarify that. I'm saying that some people go to those institutions because every month they'll be paid, they'll get money to save or do whatever thing they want to do, and then their school fees and other things will be paid for. Do you get that?
Yeah.
So some people end up going that direction, and then they end up becoming teachers and doctors. And when you go to such places, when you encounter them and you are receiving their services, you can tell which one is operating in their purpose and passion area and who is frustrated. Sometimes in the area of the medical field, some of them, you can see that they are not very patient. With a little thing, they will just get frustrated and then be talking to you anyhow. Okay. I remember a stepmother of mine underwent a surgery in a certain hospital. I don't want to mention it. If I mention, you will know. And in the quest of the nurse to deliver blood transfusion, they ended up giving someone else's blood type to her. Yes, which caused a lot of discomfort. She nearly died. And when they attempted to, ask for explanation, she said that mistaken opinion be that, and all of those things. She said many other things I don't want to say here. You see, yes. And I also remember when I was in GHS, there was this no, that was SHS. There was my chemistry teacher who would teach us, and if you try to let him know that you didn't understand, he should explain further. He said that just chew. Me, I didn't want to be a teacher. At this very moment, if I get any job which is paying me better than this, I will leave. Do you get that? Because that is not his field. And you can tell the difference of those who are operating in their area of calling or purpose. They are so nice, they are so patient, they are able to, when you leave them, you say, oh, as for this man, you carry good impression about them when you leave their presence. And you can voluntarily recommend them to other people because you had a very good experience with them. So when you are not pursuing your purpose, one of the things to know is that you are always frustrated in the area where you are. It could be your work or your marriage or your friendship or whatever thing. Things will be frustrated for you, and that is not healthy. That is why sessions like this is very important to watch or participate. Yes.
That was spot on. That was spot on. With the frustration you're talking about, it's everywhere because a lot of us find ourselves doing what we didn't intend to do. And so there's frustration in the school, there's frustration in the hospital, there's even frustration in the church. Because the pastor is leading.
Yes.
So
You're not supposed to be there.
Not supposed to be there. was serving as a protocol member. He's actually now a pastor. And
Yeah.
so it's quite frustrating. Wow, that's good. And so with that said, are there any steps, and if I should say maybe tools that can help us to, discover, that can be said, I'm still searching, I'm still discovering. Are there any
Yes.
practical steps that you recommend for us, or maybe someone who is trying to discover his or her purpose?
Okay. So what I'll say first is that the good book, the Bible has told us, okay, that before we were born, God knew us. He crafted us with the best of craftsmanship in
Okay.
our mother's womb before we came out, right? So the first step to discovering your purpose is to go to the manufacturer. If I want to know the function of this headphone, I need to read the manual that came with it from the manufacturer. That way I'll be able to see, okay, it has Bluetooth wireless, it has a mic, it has whatever functions, right? So the first thing is to approach your manufacturer, which is God, and then ask, what have you created me to be? That is number one. The second one is to, as I mentioned earlier, look in the past. What are some things that you have been passionate about that excite you? That when you are involved, you become so happy and peaceful. That is one clue. The other
Okay.
clue is, what are some of the things that when you see around, you get so mad that why didn't they do it this way? It could have been done this way. Those things. For example, if you are somebody who is so dissatisfied with how our country has been led, I'm just saying, okay, in the past 50 something years, you are so burdened when you go through La Paz and you go through the town, you know that you said, why is this road like this? Why is this traffic light not working? Why is the gutter too small? That is a leader for you. Somebody who, when given the opportunity, will be able to come down to the people and do what benefits the people. So right now we can see what Ibrahim Traore is doing in Burkina Faso. He didn't go to power through the approved means. He went to power through military intervention, which is not acceptable. He did a coup, right? And look at what he's doing. It means that he was very dissatisfied. He was burdened with how the people were being led in the past, right? And how their colonial masters were treating them and all of that. He was burdened. And he discovered that, okay, I have the skills to lead. Why don't I take an action? Everything boils down to action. If you discover your passion area, what gives you peace and everything, you don't do anything about it, and you still remain in where you are for a long time, you'll be frustrated. We don't want that for anybody, right? So everything is about getting the knowledge and taking action one step at a time. You fail, you wake up, you stand up and clean up yourself, pick up yourself, and move to that direction. So I'm saying in summary that approach God through prayer, asking in a reflective manner, okay? Take your book and your pen, reflect with God. The Bible has told us that God said that word, come, let us reason together. God is always available for us, Yes, He can inspire your heart and your mind to discover exactly who you are meant to be. And then look at what things you are passionate about. Maybe when you are advising people, you are passionate about that. Public speaking, you are passionate about that. When you are talking with people in public, you are so excited, Maybe when you are teaching people, you are excited. All these are cues that can help us. You and I, Godfrey, we have a friend who has, in my own experience of the person, right? I believe that God has deposited some special gifts in her, right? Which, if she pursues further, it's going to be a very big breakthrough for her. But she sells that gift to her close circles, and we enjoy that about her so much. But I believe that if she's able to take it to the next step or explore it further, that'll be a very big breakthrough in her life, right? As it stands, I have not seen her do that yet, but I think one day that will happen. Do you get that? And that applies to most of us. We are comfortable in our area of influence. We are making strides. We are making impact and all of that. But it comes to the point where we need to move from being successful to being significant.
Wow.
Nothing God has created or that exists is for itself.
Okay.
Let me repeat that.
Repeat.
Nothing
Repeat.
on earth is for itself. An example, this evening after this call, I'm going to eat fufu and chicken
Mm.
with tilapia.
Mm.
Now, cassava and tilapia fish and the chicken, they don't eat themselves. They serve
Yeah.
us. We eat them and we get healthy. The same thing
Okay.
applies to you. Whatever gift God has deposited in you, it is for the blessing of the world. It's supposed to fix somebody's life. It's supposed to fix a certain family. It's supposed to
Okay.
transform a certain community or a certain nation or continent.
Okay.
Do you get that? So
Yeah.
God expects us, He actually expects us to sit down, reflect, and be able to discover. As I said, our purpose is not in the future. Our purpose is within us. God has
Mhm.
deposited it in us, and it is up to us. Our assignment is to discover it and polish it up, like how gold is treated. When gold is picked from the earth, it goes through process to become shiny and become valuable. It is when it has
Okay.
been polished that it begins to get attention and value. Do you get
Mm.
that?
Mm.
So Masmoro says that when you discover your purpose and you are living your purpose, money will come. Money will locate you. Money will look for you. So we don't set
Okay.
out in life to chase money. Chase your purpose. When you discover it and you have polished it and you have presented it as a valuable thing, people will chase you for it.
Wow.
Let me give
Wow.
a typical example. All right.
Sure.
When Dr. Miles Morrow, from a humble beginning, discovered that his area of passion was about public speaking, about you know helping people to move from bad situation A to a better situation B. He had to love reading, love research. What was he trying to do? He was trying to become more valuable so that when you come and call him that, okay, Dr. Miles, I want you to come and speak at this conference. Say, okay, I'm going to charge you $100,000. You'll be willing to pay because you know what he carries.
The value.
Do you
Yeah.
understand? The value, yes. So when we discover our purpose, it doesn't end there. We need to go another step to make it sharp and
Okay.
become valuable. That way, you can serve it to thousands of people. You can serve it to millions of people. That is why all of us are enjoying Zoom. We are enjoying Facebook. We are enjoying a lot of
Mm.
other technological breakthroughs because some people
Mm.
discovered that they have the skill for engineering or coding or whatever. They took steps to
Mhm.
polish it up, add value to it, did research, and
Mm.
went ahead to
Mm.
apply for, how do you call it, copyright and whatever license that they will need, right? Some people have been called to entrepreneurship and management. So when events are happening, I know a certain lady, uh, a cousin of mine was organizing his having his wedding. This lady was not the organizer of the wedding, no, but she was all over the place making sure that things were in order. And everything. I asked my cousin, yeah, are you sure this was not the lady you contracted to take care of the wedding? He said, no, she's just a friend. And I said, oh,
Wow.
if this girl establishes a business in event planning or
Event
management,
planning.
that is a breakthrough.
Breakthrough.
So because of that, we
Wow.
became friends and we are still good friends now.
Mm.
I told her that, oh,
Wow.
I see you to be this.
With this.
So
Wow.
we need to identify our purpose through those means I've mentioned and take the next step to polish it. It could be a 1 year journey of the polishing. It could be 2 years or 3 years, but you can be sure that when finally you are done with the polishing, it will look appealing to people who need that service and they'll pay so much
Okay.
for it. And that is where Masmoro says that the money will follow you, the money will be chasing
All
you.
right. All right.
Yes.
All right. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I'm really learning. I'm adding up. Before this session, I had some of my, young people putting
Yes.
some questions, what they may want me to ask for them. And one of the
Okay.
questions someone asked was that, can purpose change over time?
Okay. We call something misalignment,
Okay.
right? I personally believe that purpose cannot change. When you drift, you misalign. It's like using your phone as hammer to hit
Wow.
a nail, to drive a nail into a wood. Even
Okay.
though something else can drive that, but the main purpose of the main thing that can be used for that purpose is hammer. It has been made
Hammer.
to drive nails and to break things. So when you use a
Okay.
hammer, you get better results than using other things, right?
Okay.
So I don't think, as I said, the purpose of everything is buried within that thing. I don't see oranges, bearing oranges changing in the future to bear mangoes. They will always bear oranges for us to eat. Do you get that? That also applies to us as humans. There's this special calling on our lives that we need to discover and serve the world with it, polish it up, build capacity. If you have to go to school for it, go to school. If you have to go and learn under somebody as an apprentice, go and do that. If you have to volunteer in that organization that is already doing something that you want to do, but you want to do it in an advanced version, go there. As I was sharing my story, I told you about getting the opportunity to serve in the various class that I was as class prefect, school prefect, SRC president, all the way to the university. Even at the master's level, I was still a course rep. Do you get that? And from level 200, I discovered that I want to be a life coach. I want to be somebody that encourages other people to change their lives, right? So I said, okay, this is about leadership, right? So for my master's, I went into leadership. I'm currently working in a leadership organization. We train thousands of people on how to turn their lives around and improve society. So you see the line. Once you discover yourself, you have to build capacity. And master's was how many years? 2 years. Do you get that? Yes, that is 2 years. And I have not stopped learning because I finished my master's degree in leadership. I'm still learning. As I told you, I read a lot of books on my phone, my hard copies. A lot of them are here. You see, they are all here, all over around me. Do you see that? Okay, my filter is covering it. Okay, all right. This is one book by Professor Delano Adadivo on transforming leadership. So I am just saying that.
I think I have one. Yeah.
Yes, you do. That's right. So I'm just saying that when we have finally discovered our purpose, it will not change. But on your way to discovering it, it's like a journey. You might try different things. When we began, I told you about being an explorer. So when we were in SHS, I was in cadets, I was in civic education, where we were reading and learning the Ghana's constitution. We're going on competitions, debates here and there, because from there, I fell in love with leadership, right? Serving people was exciting for me. And possibly I might become a politician one day, a good politician. Yes. So that is my purpose area that I have identified that God has called me. I don't see myself, I might be doing other things. I might be investing in other things to reach my financial goals, but that does not change my purpose. I will still remain and operate in my purpose, but I can establish businesses, I can preach, I can do other things. All of those may not be my calling, my purpose area, but I can still do them anyway. But I will not stop operating in my purpose.
Your purpose.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. I'm enjoying the conversation. I think we have some 2 minutes left. Let's see some one or two then.
Okay.
I didn't want us to stop. I want to teach
Yeah, let me just emphasize one thing before we move on, that the main purpose for your purpose, okay, the main reason for your purpose is about significance.
Okay.
I want to stress that so that we don't miss that point. We can become successful in a lot of things, but when we want to become significant, we can only do that when we operate in our purpose.
Our purpose. Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
I hope that we can think about that deeply and get the benefits. Yes.
Wow.
So purpose is not really just about you, about discovering who you are, and that's it. It's about discovering who you are and serving the world with it. When we mentioned Einstein, when we mention Abraham Lincoln, Kwame Nkrumah, and others, we can all associate them with something. You get that? The Wright brothers, we can associate them with a particular thing. When we mention Godfred Nate right now, we can associate you with something. That is your service to the world. That is what you are being significant. Other people are being transformed because of you.
Of you. Wow.
Yes, because of you. So purpose is not only about you.
Mm.
It's about being significant, touching many lives.
Significant. Wow. I want to touch many lives. I want to be
Yes,
significant.
you are doing that now.
May God help us. Has discovering your purpose shaped your daily decision making and probably your long-term goals?
Say that again.
I mean, has you being able to
Yes.
discover your purpose, has it been
Yes.
able to shape your daily decisions?
Okay. Right.
And maybe, as you say, your long-term goal.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's a very good question, Godfred. So, where I am working currently, I work with the International Leadership Foundation, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
In level 300, we were tasked to do our internships with schools with institutions, even if they will not pay us. In UPS, where both of us attended university, it was compulsory. It was a graded course, right? I chose a leadership organization because at the time of my 20-year development plan, as I told you in level 200, I discovered that I was passionate about leadership and serving other people, right? So I intentionally chose to do my internship with a leadership organization to build capacity in that area. So in the absence of the 20-year development plan, which had forecasted that in 20 years, I want to be here, I want to be there in this part of my life. Even I went further to describe the kind of lady that I can marry. I couldn't marry everybody. Of course, I need to decide what comes to me, because that's going to affect how my purpose will be lived out. Do you get that? So your life partner is equally important in shaping your purpose. Right. So when you have decided in advance that this is where I am going, not every road can lead you there. If you know where you are going, you know the route that will take you there. So because of the decisions that I took back in 2014 of where I want to go in every area of my life, I didn't accept every opportunity that came to me. If opportunities came and they are even offering 100 billion, whatever, and it's not in line with one of my purposes, I would just say, oh, sorry, unfortunately, I'm not available at this time. You get that? So after my master's and from interactions with where I work, I've come to discover what they call the Eisenhower matrix, right? Over there, it talks about priorities, how to say yes and no. What is urgent and important to you in the area of your life, purpose, and direction? When things come to you and they are in the area of your purpose or in the area of your goals and plans, then you will say yes because it is urgent and it is important according to your plan. If it is urgent and not important according to your plan, you give it another thing. You can let it go. Say, okay, sorry, can we postpone this? Can we do this another time? Because before that day, you already have a plan of where you are going. Do you get that? I remember after secondary school, a classmate of mine, we were living at Abeka around La Paz. We saw that when school has closed, the students or the kids loiter around, they go to game centers and all that. So my friend said, oh, let's establish a game center. You know, I looked at the thing, how it was taking the time of the children. I said, nah, Charlie, this is not a good thing to do. The results will not be, it will not help the kids. Because they'll come there and waste their life trying to do Sakawa and all those kind of things. So I said, nah, we couldn't do that. So that business didn't come on because of that decision. You get that? So when you know where you are going, you know what should be in your bus to go with you to where you are going and what should not be in your bus. You get that? So it is very important to know all of this one in advance, and that will shape your everyday decisions. Where when you will be able to say yes, this is in line with my purpose. Now, what Miles Monroe said that when you discover your purpose, the money will come. What he was actually trying to say is that when you know where you are going, let me give an example. I hope I will not deviate.
Okay.
In my 20-year plan, I put the type of car that I want to buy when I'm 45 years over there.
Okay.
I'm not there yet. I'm making plans towards it. Since that day, I wrote the name of that car. Everywhere I was passing, I was seeing the car. Say again. Yes. I was seeing that mode everywhere, the model. So the secret is that when you intentionally plan that this is what I want, actually the things that you want have always been around you, but because you have not taken time to decide that this is what I want, you are not discovering them, even though they are right in your face. So when you finally discover your purpose, automatically the things you need to pursue and to discover and to bless the world with your purpose, you begin to see them around. The people that you need to help you, the opportunities, the friends, the materials, and the venture capital, whatever that is, operating in that area. For you, for example, Godfred, when you guys were working on the agri-tech project, if somebody plays an advert in relation to something about agri-tech, you would have easily discovered it. Because you have decided that you are working in this area. Do you get that? So when you discover a purpose and then you have the plan, the things that you have stated in the plan, you are easily able to see them around on TV, on the internet. Even miraculously, sometimes when you go and watch one thing that you like on YouTube or whatever, you see that the algorithm will begin to suggest, So they see that, oh, this is the purpose this person is trying to operate in. Let's help him. Let's help him to discover more things about this area. Do you get that? So when you discover your purpose and then you make plans for them every day, your decisions should be towards becoming better at that thing. Every time a decision is not in that direction, you are fighting against your purpose. Let me take that one clearly again. I'm saying that every time you are not working towards your purpose, you are working against your purpose. So it's like this, two roads. You are either here or here. You can't be at side by side.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So you are either working towards your purpose, and if you are not doing that, automatically you are working against your purpose. And you become more frustrated when you do that. But when you are working towards your purpose, then excitement. Every day you are happy. You don't even feel like you are working, but you're actually making impact.
The frustration is my thing. I see a lot of frustrated people when they
Yes.
speak.
So we need to take time and reflect.
Your purpose or against your purpose.
Yes.
If you're against your purpose, then frustration is definitely your portion.
And if you are working in your purpose, then there's excitement, there's peace.
Happiness.
Yes. There is peace.
Wow. This amazing. Let's take some one or two and then we go. What role does faith play in discovering your purpose?
Okay. Not to sound too religious, but that is the most important role that faith plays is. I mentioned that the first step to discover your purpose was what? To go to the manufacturer, which is God.
God.
If you don't believe, you can't see God. You can't see God sitting by you physically and then asking God questions. It's an act of faith that you can trust that, okay, if the Bible, God's word says that I should come and let us reason together, God gives that opportunity. Then you can, by faith, take that step of engaging Him, right? I read the book by Napoleon Hill. It's called the, how do you call it? Think and Grow Rich, right? Over there, he talks about the mastermind group. He's able to talk about the fact that you can sit down to reflect and imagine that a certain type of people that you believe will help you to achieve certain things are presently surrounded in a conference room with you. And you go ahead to ask them questions. Okay, you, Godfred, I know you are an expert in this. If you were handling this problem, how would you have solved it? Even though the people are not there face to face. Do you get that? Okay,
Yeah.
you, Jesus, I know you do miracles, you do healing, you do ABCD. If you are the one handling this problem, what you do? And he said that miraculously, your brain will begin to give you ideas as if the person was the one sitting there doing that.
Ah.
He was trying to talk about faith. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Yes. So come and let us read it together. I mean, God is very interested in your issues.
Okay.
He's interested in helping to fix your frustration and all of that. So that is one. The second part, the secular people call it the law of attraction.
Mm.
You see, as I was saying, that when you begin to think and you are obsessed with a particular thing, you begin to see it all around you. That is your faith trying to work towards you, trying to nature. The science people will say nature trying to bring things to you, but we know that there's nothing called nature. Everything has somebody behind it, and that is God at work, trying to
Yeah.
push you towards where you have to be. So, there are systems in place that actually fight against our purpose.
Wow.
Unfortunately, we on this side of Africa experience that a lot. For example, I know that junior high students are writing exams now. They will finish on Wednesday or so, or Tuesday. I went to a school last week to help my cousin choose his school. And you know what is happening? Like you and I also experienced in the past.
Yeah.
Our courses that we want to read are being chosen based on our academic performance, whether you are good in maths and science and English and all of that. Do you get that? Based on that, GES will decide to give you a school of your choice or not. Yes, they will force you to choose a certain school or a certain grade of school because of your academic performance, whether you are your IQ is high and whatever. So you end up in a certain place. But fortunately, we have someone who is able to turn things around for you. Sometimes we think we chose to go to a particular place, but some of those decisions are in line with where God wants to push us to. Just like how do you call him? What's the name of the gentleman who was swallowed by the fish? Jonah. Yes, Jonah.
Yeah.
You see, he wanted to go to a particular place, run away from God. God had to bring him back because he had to deliver a special message. That
Okay.
message was his purpose at the time, right? That he had to go and send a message to the people of Nineveh to repent so that God does not destroy them. The same thing applies to us. Sometimes when we want to run away from our purpose, there are certain situations that we will go through that will frustrate us. Recently, I watched a video of that story of the Bible, and then he was frustrated when he was in the stomach of the fish. Even when he came out, and then God decided that he won't punish the people as he promised, so he should go and talk to them. He will pardon them. He was so frustrated because how can you let me go through all this stress just to pardon the people? You get that?
Yeah.
Yes. So sometimes wherever we find ourselves, if at any point in time we decide that from this day forward, like from today, I want to take steps to discover myself. There are a lot of resources online. If you just put that in AI right now, it will give you a lot of ideas that can help you to shape your life in the direction of your uh, passion and your purpose. Right.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I thank God that we are alive in this time of artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Currently, the world's knowledge is buried in AI. And if you go there right now and tell AI that, oh, maybe I'm passionate about solving conflicts, for example, or I get so mad when I see our gutters full and it is causing flood. I get so displeased. Or I am so mad when I see a husband beating their wife or people beating children or whatever. If you give the AI this background, it's able to give you a fair idea of some of the areas that you may be called in, right? Yes. Later, if you need me to talk about this one, we can do that another time.
Another time, yeah.
Yes. But just so you know that when you are no more here, what you want people to say about you, you can decide that in now. When you are no more on earth, you have been called into heaven or wherever you want to be. Of course, we want everybody to be in heaven, but that's also a choice. But
Yeah.
I am saying that you can write what will be said about you. You can decide to create that thing now. by discovering your purpose and living it fully. Automatically, when you are not here anymore, people can say, oh, as for Richmond, he was like this, he was like, if your Richmond was here, this would have been happening, or this wouldn't have been happening. You get that?
Yeah.
That decision is in our own hands now.
No.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. This like $2,000 seminar. Thank you,
Yeah, that's it,
thank you
Matthew.
so much. You know, we have some one or two left so we can
Sure.
wrap up. So you can go and
Okay.
eat your fufu and tilapia.
Oh, wow. Yes, yes, yes. I can't wait.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, let me ask this. What would you say to someone who feels stuck in discovering the
Stuck.
purpose? Yes, the person is
Okay.
stuck. Or, let me put it this way. Is it too late for a person to discover his purpose?
Okay. It is never too late for change of mind.
Okay.
Unfortunately or fortunately, the Bible tells us that it is only the foolish who does not change his mind.
No. Mm-hmm.
Proverbs tells us that a prudent man sees danger and hides himself, but the
Okay.
foolish keeps going and suffer for it.
Mm.
You see, at any point in time, we are on a journey discovering new things. When, like just today, if you have discovered that you have to be intentional about why you are here on earth, that
Mm-hmm.
must strike you. If you are not, you don't have that already, that must strike you and encourage you to begin to take steps to discover. It is not a one-day work that, okay, you are switching. You are, maybe you are, currently you are an accountant. And then from listening to this, you have discovered that no, you get frustrated working with numbers. That's not your area of purpose. And you want to switch your area of, you cannot just tomorrow decide that, okay, after tomorrow, I'm not an accountant anymore. It doesn't happen like that. This is,
Yeah.
it takes plan. Everything
Mm.
has a plan. God created the world in 6 days. There was a plan of what will be created on day one, what will be created on day two, up to day six, and when he rested. So if you are discovering today that you want to change your life, it is not too late. Even if you are 90 years and you are still alive, you still have life. You can still begin something, right?
Mm.
The earlier, the better. If you don't do it today, you are still wasting time. So the time is now. Right after this
Mm.
call, sit down and take a pen and a book and begin to ask hard questions. What am I passionate about? What frustrates me? What can I do about this? Who can I
Mm.
talk to? Everything, the Bible said that there's nothing new under the sun. Whatever you want
Mm.
to become, some people are already operating in that field.
Mm.
Look around you, approach some of them, and they'll be so happy to help you to be mentored, right? So one
Mhm.
key thing I didn't emphasize is coaching and mentorship, right? If
Yeah.
you know somebody is good at what you are trying to become, approach them and ask them to mentor you. They'll be glad. So far, there's nobody I've ever approached to mentor me in a particular area of my life and they have declined.
Mm.
Yes,
Mm.
there has to be a formal engagement. Okay, maybe I can offer you every 30 minutes every week or every month. I can meet you for 1 hour. Do you understand? And they'll help you
Yeah.
to shape your life. Yes, I'm currently doing that for two friends. One of them is in America, one of them is in Ghana. You see,
Mm.
and the American one is paying something for it. But I could even do that for free. Do you understand
Yeah.
that? Because I'm just so fulfilled that because I was able to assist somebody, the person's life has been changed or transformed for the better. Do you get that?
Mm.
So if you are listening to us right now and you want to change your life from current state to a better
Mhm.
state B, the decision is now. It's never too late. You can decide that
Okay.
now, as I did in 2014, that I wanted to change my life and I wanted to take hold of my life. Of course, it is God who holds tomorrow and knows what will happen tomorrow. But immediately you begin to take that step, as we said, God brings in your way those things, those people, and those opportunities that you need to get to where He wants you to be. Do you get that? And once you
Yeah.
have the plan, it is easy to discover the things that are in line with your
Wow.
plan. So
Mm.
it's never too late. If you are stuck, take steps to get out of there. It is not a
Mm.
one-day job. As I said,
Mm.
uh, if you're a nurse and you want to cease being a nurse, if you you stop it today, tomorrow, next month, they will not pay you. You cannot feed. So you take steps to build the capacity that you need to get out of where you are. Do you get that? If it's a skill that you have to begin learning, you need to do that. So that is it for that question. Yes.
Wow. It's never too late. So you can start now. It's never too late. Okay. Thank you so much. I've really learned a lot, and I believe that our listeners have also learned a lot. We started with some technical issues here and there, but I'm sure once it's out there, you're going to have the best of it. Like I mentioned, these people pay thousands of dollars to listen to what you are saying for us for free. God bless you. God bless you. So listen, let me ask you this, my final question. If discovering your purpose was a song, what song would that be to you? You discovering your purpose. If it was a song, what song would it be?
Okay. What song would it be if it was discovering my purpose?
I know you love songs.
I love songs. Except that singing it is my challenge. When God was gifting those people, I wasn't there. Right, but if discover my purpose was a song, I would just say hallelujah. Yes. Because each time you do that, yes, each time you say hallelujah, it's cause for response. Response is feedback and influence.
Okay.
Yes. So basically, that's what I want to say about that. I already told you about being significant, and you can't do that in isolation. John Maxwell, one of my mentors, says that one is too small a number to achieve greatness.
Okay.
So if you want to achieve greatness, know that some people have done it before, and you can partner mentee or as partners because they are also operating in that direction. They all want to see that same impact here on the earth. Do you get that? That is why Ibrahim Traore and others are coming together to form an alliance, because they know that they have the same purpose, and when they come together, they build synergy, and their output can be greater than each of them doing it on their own.
Wow. What a night. What a night. What a night. It has been an amazing time of learning, just as God promised us. The enemy tried to bully us. The enemy tried to bully us, but we are tougher. We are tougher. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy person. You just came out from a meeting and you are joining us. I really appreciate it. I say God bless you so much. And we believe that as this message is going out there, it's going to impact life. And by that, we are also fulfilling our purpose. So I just leave you. I say that in your final words, what would you say? What would you say with that?
Okay, so for my final words, I am saying that when you discover your purpose, you'll be sought after because of that, and that will bring you significance. And that is one of the ways to, if you are somebody who wants to chase money, that is one way of chasing money indirectly. Yes, people will chase you for the strong value that you carry. If you pretend to be somebody else that you are not, you will not be chased for that. When they are looking for an expert in that field, they'll go for that person who is chasing his purpose in that area. They will not come for you. So don't leave someone else's purpose as though it is yours. You can become more impactful if you are operating in your own purpose. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This, like I mentioned, has been an amazing time of learning, and all of us have learned a lot. I kept putting down one or two on my tablet because you cannot finish learning. Every day you learn. Thank you so much, Mr. Richmond Kwame Agyare, who is actually the the technical director and International Leadership Foundation, and the CEO of Mediator AI Solutions. We are so grateful for having you on this call. God bless you so much.
Amen. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share in what you are doing, and we appreciate the audience as well for logging on, and for those who will be listening later. Thank you.